Coming up in today's episode of Inspire to Inspire.
All I wanted to do was just get an acting job, and I got it, and then I didn't know what to do with my life. I really had to look into myself and find the answers, and all the answers started leading me back to God. As different people with different gifts, there are certain things that come easy with each person. So what does it mean, the fact that I'm an actor? It means that I need to have a relationship with scripts, but also I need to understand the possible techniques that I can use to work on my script, to build characters.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo. Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
Mr. M. Dongo, and he is a 10X person.
Well, one of the things...
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.
Hey there again, this is your guy Mr. M. Dongo. As you know that this amazing show called Inspire to Inspire is a show that I always bring my people and people that really inspires me each and every day. And these people, some of them are like my very close friend, some of them are my clients, and some of them are people who are doing great in the industry. And that being said, today I have my client, my friend, and somebody who is doing great in the industry as well, all combined together. How can, I just don't know. Well, God, sometimes I am so jealous. But anyway, this person is such an amazing person. To some of you who are in South Africa or who are in Africa, you actually have been seeing her on your screens for a long time, okay? From a long time ago up to now. So, and she is an actress, she is an NLP coach, and also an amazing friend to me. Nozuko, hi. I am so excited to actually be here with you. This has been long time coming, okay? I can tell. This has been long time coming. And how are you doing, my dear?
I'm blessed. I'm good. I feel really good. It's been a beautiful sunny day after a really cold and rainy, I think about 3 weeks. This week was a bit cold, but right now it's sunny.
So excited. I'm very much excited to actually have you here today. With all these things that are just happening in our day-to-day life, sometimes we get busy and forget ourselves, like really, who am I and what am I doing? Where am I going? And all those other things. But I'm so grateful to actually have you here today because we know that we are in this to help people. We are in this to make people really see themselves in what we are doing. And you are doing just that each and every day. I'm so excited to actually have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Dongo.
So Nozuko, tell me here, who is Nozuko really? Like, to some of the people who doesn't know you out there, or some of the people who just know one side of you, who is Nozuko?
What a big question. Who is Nozuko? I think I'm a sister to many South African young women. First of all, I'm a sister to a lot of creatives. I am a godly soul. I'm my mother's daughter. I am a creative. Also, I love creating. I love telling stories. And I love expressing myself in all possible ways. And I'm a lover. I have a really big, beautiful heart that I love sharing with people. I'm someone who really loves community. I love building with my community, and I love the idea of just taking community forward, of figuring out what's next for the people around me, for myself, what's next for society. So I love having an influence in that. I love having an influence in shaping society. And yeah, I think that's just a brief explanation of who I am.
I want to talk about the other side of the industry you are in. Okay, what made you choose that industry? What made you say, you know what? I think I want to be an actress. Like, what made you choose that? Wasn't there another industry?
It was, well, I mean, when I started pursuing the goal of wanting to get a job in the industry, first of all, I fell in love with the art of acting. And then I fell in love with community theater. It happened that when I was a little girl, about 10 years old, I saw a magazine and it was written actress. And that moment felt like a reminder to me, a reminder of who I'm supposed to be, a reminder of what the future could bring for me. And from that moment, I just never forgot the term actress. And I just kept on following and pursuing it. I mean, I also did realize that at school during that time, I came alive when I was doing art and culture. I realized that I remember in grade 5, our teacher would group us in groups of 5 and say, and give us a topic, do teenage pregnancy. And then you'll do this little sketch of a girl, being pregnant and things like that. So I realized that every time that would happen, that was when I mostly came alive. And all my reports, my end year reports, my teachers would always say that she loves being funny in class. She loves entertaining other kids and taking care of other kids, So the seed was planted there in senior primary school, and I just never looked back. I just wanted to pursue this acting thing, this thing that makes me happy and that makes me come alive. And then when I was in high school, I met community theater and I fell in love because community theater brought purpose. When you think of the background of community theater, it starts from protest theater, from the days of Abubabu Gibson Kent, when we did theater for a change, theater to influence the community. So being a Lokshini, in the township and being part of the community groups, it meant that we were performing throughout our community and speaking about teenage pregnancies, speaking about HIV and AIDS. And it's all those things that really made me want to say, I want to be a professional actor, which meant that I want to act and receive money from that and make a living from that. And I just followed that dream until I was able to find myself on television.
On television. So could you say that actors or actresses are born actresses?
Wow, no one has ever asked me that, but no, I don't think. Listen, obviously we are structured differently as human beings, right? If I can make an example, some people singing comes easy. Some people are just natural, like it's easier for them to find tone and to find tune, right? But for some people, they can train their voices. Of course, maybe I won't sound like Whitney Houston, but I can be able to hear a certain tone and hear a certain key and actually be a recording artist when I started from being off tune and not necessarily knowing how to sing. So I think art is a skill that you can learn. But obviously, as different people with different gifts, there are certain things that come easy with each person. And it can seem like, oh, this is a natural born person. But everybody can be creative. Everybody can use a skill. Everybody can learn the arts. That's my take. I think you can learn. You can learn how to act.
Because also I was about to say, to you say that you started when you were still very young. You just saw that magazine and you're like, that's what I actually want to do. So I was like, so if actress and actors or artists are actually born artists, what's the point then of actually going to school for you to learn? But you kind of like explained by the time you're like professional actress or professional actor as well. And I think that was in our previous coaching session, but we're talking about the industry is big for everybody. There is a market For the shy ones, there is a market. For the stammer, there is a market. For the very slim, for the plus size, for LGBTQ, for straight, for church people, for drunkards. Like in the market, there is a market for everyone. If you wanna act, you can still act and be relevant in whatever you are.
Yeah, but obviously, there is a certain discipline that needs to take place if ever you want to participate in the industry with using any form of art or using any kind of tool. Everything is a process, and you will need to be disciplined in learning and following that certain process. But you can do whatever you want on this earth.
You can do whatever you want on this earth, and there's always a market for that. Wow. So talk to me. You have been in the industry from when again?
2015. That's when I got my first acting gig on SABC One.
So Skim Sam was your first one?
Yes, it was. That was my first gig. Just to tell you, the story is that year when I got Skim Sam, I was currently studying education at Edgewood UKZN, and it was a time where I was very frustrated. I finished matric maybe 4 years before 2015, and my mom was like, "Yes, I see that you are pursuing theater." And I was actually doing very well in theater. I was working with the Playhouse. I was traveling around KZN, going to Zwagala Festival and all of that. But the challenge was my mom was saying, it's not bringing in enough money. You're literally bringing in like 700 sometimes a month there, and it's not working. So I really need to see what it is that you're doing. So if you have to go back to school, go back to school. So that year I went back to school and studied education. But 7 months into my education degree, I had to drop out because Skim Sam called.
Wow. And there's an article that I just wanted to read about you. So it says, so introduced to community theater at the age of 13. She said, "I am not formally trained. I am informally trained through community theater. I just told a friend of mine that I wanted to do this thing that we do in arts and culture classes. Then she told me about a group that I joined. Okay, it taught me discipline, and it taught me the beauty of creating, and it taught me to create honestly and be myself." What does that really mean about being yourself and honesty in the industry? Because you mentioned that you can't sing like Whitney Houston, but you can still sing like Nozuko. And then right now in the acting, we have gurus and people that are like, when you are looking, coming back to Skim Sam, I don't think Umantuli still really struggle to actually go through script, because it seems like it's in her. She is Skim Sam. She is her. Okay. So I just gave mentally because it's from Skim Sam. So coming back to you, what does this really mean? What does it really mean? Yeah.
What does it mean to create authentically?
Yeah.
For me right now, and I really wonder at that time, what did it mean? But for me right now, what it means is truly expressing the ideas that I believe in. And I think that's what it means to create honestly, and to not follow trends, but to create with purpose and intention. An intention that serves the vision that I have for myself. Like, I'm someone that believes in community development. So it's so important that in the arts that I create, and in whatever that I create, that I make sure that it builds society, that it builds community. So not creating from an honest point will be creating an idea that I do not necessarily believe in, that maybe would go against my values and my beliefs and who I know myself to be on this earth. But also creating honestly, I think another part of it is learning, because as artists, we are constantly evolving, but also as what we are doing is an art form. So if you don't know the art form and also you are not evolving in your art, then you may find that you are not being honest and genuine with what you need to express at that moment.
Imagine skyrocketing your business without breaking the bank. Sounds too good to be true? Get any of the BNC International's automation packages. This is your ticket to more clients and less stress. Our services cover everything from Facebook and Instagram ads to lead magnets, funnels, and basic automation. Plus, you get a one-on-one coaching session to tailor everything to your business needs. Choose from our 3 awesome packages. The basic package at just $499, the growth package at $997, and our premium package at $1,499. Each package is designed to optimize your ads and maximize your results. No more guessing games, just real measurable results. And the best part? We handle all the heavy lifting so you can focus on what you do best, running your business. Ready to transform your marketing? Click the link below and let's get started with BNC International's automation packages. Because your business deserves the best.
Wow. And also that you then come to this, because well, I don't even think that I used to remember this article, but on this article, I think you mentioned more than 10, if not 15 times about having the discipline of the art. The discipline of the art industry, like the discipline. What are some of the disciplines of the art industry, and like that a lot of people really overlook? Yeah, like what are some of these things that a lot of people kind of like overlook as they are doing the acting?
Yeah, the first part of it is the skill. Let's say for me, I'm an actor. So what does it mean, the fact that I'm an actor? It means that I need to have a relationship with scripts, but also I need to understand the possible techniques that I can use to work on my script, to build characters, right? And it means not winging it. It means really being honest in choosing the techniques, because so many people wing the craft. They wing the skill of acting. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna be myself. People are acting themselves. So you as an actor, an actor who's training themselves, whether you have formal or informal training, but as a trained actor, you need to have your toolbox and know that on my toolbox, do I have Stanislavski? Do I have Meisner? Do I have actioning? But you need to know that there are certain techniques that can work for you. And you are not only limited to these techniques, these Western techniques. If you've learned and read enough books and have taught yourself the skill, you'll be able to devise your own skill that makes sense. That you know that when I go into an audition, this is the technique that I use. When I am in front of the camera or when I'm doing theater, these are the techniques that I use. But also you get to expand within your toolbox and the skill, and you get to create new things. But what matters is that you need to start somewhere when it comes to how do I act? What is it that I do when I'm acting? I'm not just being myself. I'm not just saying the script. What is it that I'm doing? So that's the skill part. Another important thing that I actually learned this through theater. It's just that when sometimes you can get carried away when you are pursuing the dream. And obviously I was reminded much later when I had to remember mindfulness. But if I really think of it, mindfulness is something that I learned in theater. Because some of the techniques that you need to have in your toolbox is breathing. But we don't only use breathing maybe for vocal projection or only for calming of nerves. But we use breathing, obviously to control your nervous system, to teach you how your nervous system to hold certain emotions, so that you have awareness of where the emotions are. If I breathe like this is the emotion that comes out. If I breathe like this is the emotion that comes out. Visualization and meditation, that should be part of the artist's daily lives, on how you expand your imagination. Because when the technique is gone, what's left is this tool. And what matters is how far can you imagine the circumstances of the scene and the circumstances of the character. And really, that's what creates the best actors, because they are able to live truthfully within the imagined circumstances. So the part of taking care of the tools that you are, such as movement, such as vocal training, so it's between the taking care of the tool and also the prodding of the skill.
My goodness, look at you. You are going all deep like crazy. I'm like, wow. So as you are talking right now, I'm like, so it is so important for you to also do visualization, because you are not just visualizing yourself succeeding in the acting industry, but you're also visualizing your character, the character you are going to be acting. Remember, if you were to act Munya, then you need to be Munya and start visualizing. Okay, so how would Munya really think about this, and how will he really do this? Wow, that's something. So you are living 2 to 3 people at the same time, because you are the two, plus you are trying to make people get to know this character and actually fall in love with that character. Wow, that's so good. And quick question: do you find it difficult that people who knew you from Skim Sam and they saw you again on Scandal, they saw you again on all these other places? Do you think that sometimes it is difficult to actually to follow that character? Because like there are some other characters that I see on different movies. Okay, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, let's say that this other person that is that I might be one on. Okay, I don't know if other people will know. For example, one of my favorite actors as well, apart from you, Emily Van Camp. So she acted Amanda Clark and Emily Thorne on Revenge. She was this vile. Yeah, you love you know Revenge, right? And I loved that character.
Love Revenge.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I still watch it up to now. I still watch it up to now. I don't know how many times have I repeated all of them. Yeah. And she also went on and actually acted on the Residents. And when she's acting again, well, she's left got this other character, but when I see her there, I don't see her in Residents. I still see Emily Thorne. And I still see Amanda Clark. I still see that. Do you find it difficult that people sometimes they just live with you in Skim Sam and not with you in Scandal, or some of the people that have been following all of that have been following this everywhere? Are they able to define these different characters and still separate them from you?
So, I mean, I'm actually not sure from the audience's perspective, but what I've tried to do is that each and every character that I've played, I've really tried to, of which also I've been just so lucky, because sometimes it happens that the industry keeps just bringing back the same characters and you get typecast. Sometimes that happens, but I've been so lucky that I've been able to receive characters that are quite different from each other. So then it made it well not easier but better for me to portray the characters, because the distinctions, the differences were so clear. And I've always been someone who, I love the thrill of performance. So each and every time I want to bring on something different. Yeah. So I believe I've been able to do that from Skim Sam, Scandal, and Dip City, and even Ispiwo. I think those are 4 total different characters. So I'm not really sure from the audience's perspective. If they were able to read it, some of them say they do. Some would be like, oh, I could still see something there, because it's so unpredictable. You know, you can only just give it your all. I'm not really sure, but I've tried to keep the difference and just deliver a different energy with each and every time.
But on these 4 soapies, which one did you act longer than the other one? Like, which one was your longest one?
I think I did Scandal very long. I was on Scandal for like 4 years.
For like 4 years.
But
that character on Scandal, did you find yourself sometime take it home with you?
Not necessarily, but you know, a character that I took home a lot was Knox.
Knox from Deep City.
From Deep City. That character, I did a lot. I did a lot that I shouldn't have done as a performer, but I was too excited. I loved the story, and Knox was so willing. She was a character that was willing to give me. We connected on really deep levels, and sometimes I would just be like, I'm taking her home. I just want to sleep with her. I want to be with her. I want to experience her. So I did take her home.
Wow. Well, okay. So with all these other things happening, what are some of the challenges that you actually face? Like, what are some of the ups and some downs for somebody who is in the industry? Yeah. I'm still gonna go and talk about some of the experiences that I know that you're actually gonna talk about. Yeah. But what are some of the ups and downs that you normally face in the industry?
Yeah. Most of the challenges that I faced came from not, I think, first of all, it was the issue of the fact that now I had to become a breadwinner at home. That brought in a lot of strain, because financially, I came from not having anything, and then now having to earn the amount that I was earning. I genuinely didn't know how to use that money. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I think
and that's and that's a very a big challenge when it comes to most artists, especially musicians and other people, because you also have a lifestyle that you also want to maintain as an artist. Well, you can't be found at my friend's shop anymore. You know, you now need to actually go and buy from Woolies if you are in South Africa, where you were buying your clothes. Unfortunately, you can't go back there again. You now need to actually drive all the way to the center for you to go and do that. And you can't use public transport anyway. You now need, if you don't have your own car, you now need to have Uber. You need to have all these other things. So there's so much pressure. And financial education, I think it is very, very important.
I truly believe that getting into the industry, that was one of the biggest challenges that I faced. I had no financial literacy or whatsoever. Even when, because I remember later on at Scandal, when I really now started experiencing challenges there with the contract also, I then started pursuing business. But I realized that I didn't even know where to start. All my life, I just wanted to be an actor and get a job on television. And then suddenly I'm expected to be an entrepreneur. I'm expected to understand what I need to do with my money. That was a really dark hole. That's really where I believe I struggled. That's really what brought a lot of depression, even though obviously there was a lot of trauma that I was battling with. But I think for me, the trauma that I was battling with, it never really did affect my work, because for so long I had used my art and my acting as a tool of expression, as a tool of releasing. So when I'm at work, I was able to be professional. I was well trained in that regard of showing up at work. That just only affected me more on my personal life. And I think if I can just because I'm giving you a full overview of my career and the challenges that I've had. Another challenge would really be that I've seen in the industry, and I've said this, that when I came into the industry, I had high expectations of what's really happening in the industry. I really didn't expect the environments that we work under to, I don't even know what the word I can use, to be not, like, I don't feel like the environments are very accommodative. I don't feel like we work under the best circumstances. And I'm just talking about sometimes structure, sometimes some production companies are still growing and they don't really understand what it means to have an old machine, like to keep the sausage factory going. So if Kuguti, the production house is still young, they're still trying to figure it out, the actors are gonna suffer the most, you know. I really it's those things that I didn't expect, the environment, and also just now as an older actor, I'm also looking at the rates that are being offered in the industry. And I'm like, the rates that are being offered in the industry are actually quite low. I think when you first start out, it's exciting. And then you get somewhere and you're like, actually, for the amount of time that I'm selling, this is not what I'm supposed to be earning. I think those are my challenges. That's what I've been able to see.
And maintaining the lifestyle as well.
Yes, but for me, also, Mr. John, I never really struggled to maintain the lifestyle because I've never, when I became famous, it never got to my head. I never felt like now I need to go to Sandton instead of going to Meadowlands Mall. I've never felt the need. One celebrity that you're gonna find a China mall. Like, it never got to me. I've never felt the need to buy a Gucci, even at Zara. It's like, do I really have to spend this much? Because I'm really that kind of person. That's why I'm able to look at it and say, what really was a challenge, it was the fact I didn't have any education. But it was never the fact that I'm someone that spends carelessly or I'm trying to keep up with the life. It was just the basic things of when you receive a salary, you need to have a plan on how to multiply it, because as an artist, a freelancer, tomorrow there won't be a salary.
So that's one other challenges that I wanted to talk about. So what about the challenges? What do you do in the dry season? Because I know that it's not every time that you are on the screen. Sometimes you we have changed a lot of these soapies that we actually see. You spend 4 years on on Scandal. I don't know how long exactly did you spend on Skim Sam, and also
2 years.
2 years. So what do you do in winter season, in dry season? And what are some of the challenges people face in dry season where you are not on the TV, where you are not on screen? Where there are no contracts, where literally zero.
It's such a sensitive topic, Mr. Dongo, because we've lost actors because of that. We've had actors killing themselves because of that, because they themselves wanted to chase the goal of becoming an actor. And then when you get to that position of getting that first job, you don't have any other plan. The only thing, you only identify as an actor. You haven't expanded yourself. You don't know anything about passive income and building yourself as a brand. Because the truth and reality is, not all actors enjoy being influencers. So now you find that if you are not someone that likes that influencing space, you don't have anywhere to go. And actors would crumble. They would fall into depression, mental illnesses. We've seen actors taking out their cards and saying, please deposit money for me, because they don't know what to do. So for me, it's been different seasons, and I think that's how we actually met, because I was trying to find solutions for these things. I've tried waitressing. I remember in 2019, I was in a production, and that production offered me a global contract. And then 2 months into that global contract, they said, we are taking you back on call and we're only going to give you 6 calls a month. And it was such a difficult time. At that moment, I was still sleeping. I didn't know what I was doing in Joburg. And this is happening and I have no plan. So I remember that December that I decided that I'm going to go to Maboneng. Actually, there was a lady in the same production who did catering and they owned a restaurant. And then I asked them for a job, so that I can have extra cash and extra income. And that year I decided to work as a waitress because I'm not someone who's ashamed of anything. If I'm at my lowest, I'm at my lowest. I've tried network marketing. I've tried so many business ideas, that haven't really succeeded. But it was all because I was pursuing a journey of understanding during these dry seasons as actors. What is it that we do? Because I do feel like it's about time that we stop looking at our dry seasons as something that's bad. It's not bad. As an actor, you need to rest. You can't keep on taking out and taking out and taking out. You need time to do something else to give back to yourself. But now, because as an actor, and forgive me if maybe I'm saying this out of not having enough information, I don't think there's enough training or enough schools that tell actors that after, when you are done with this degree, you need to understand that you are actually an entrepreneur. And the business is you. The business is your ideas.
You are the product.
The business is your intellectual property, your body, and what you are able to do. So without having that perspective of yourself as a business, it's so difficult to maneuver around because you're going to rely and identify with one thing. But if you have an understanding that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not only selling the skill of acting, I can sell the skill of writing. I can be a meditation instructor. I can teach breathing techniques. What is it in your toolbox of acting that you can also share as an artist? But also, just like understanding what is your full vision. You cannot just be an actor. It can't just end there.
Well, so like for the past 3 or 4 years, I've seen myself working with a lot of people in the creative industry, trying to wake them up. Hey, VUCA, wake up. Because you are on screen, okay? You are known. People know you. You have influence just by being you. For example, I'm just gonna say this. For example, Oprah Winfrey. People, they're like, the moment Oprah went live and be like, I love bread. Everybody was like, I love bread. When Oprah went and be like, I love tequila. Everybody was like, I love tequila. That's how much influence you have as an actress or somebody in this industry. You have influence. I always talk about like, use what you have. Use what you are gifted to build something else. So that tomorrow, well, look, we lose relevance every now and then. There are other very big names that are just now in our archives. They are now in our museum, even though they are still alive. We don't know where they are. You are now vintage. But if you fail to use your limelight time to build something that is going to help you in your vintage season, working until you are dead, until you are an old person. So thank you for actually bringing that. It is so important for you to diversify. Look, and most of you guys who are always on TV every time, you already have following on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your whatever. Use that, launch some product, partner, and launch something, that can still help other people. And people, they come to you, even if you want to say, guys, I want to start this business. I want 100,000. Okay. Donate if you can. People, they can, because they connect with you as a person and with you as a character. They will do whatever you want. They will follow you. So utilize that. Use that limelight. Thank you for bringing that one as well. That is so important. And also one of the key as well that you just said was that when you were going through this school training of becoming a professional actor, there are a lot of lessons that you were learning there that you could actually apply today and teach somebody who is out there, and that person could also grab that and run with it and apply in their life.
I mean, there's so much to share. When you really think about it and you're sitting there, like, there is so much that you can use. Like, I mean, from what I've learned, just from trying to write Uniquely Me, I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm selling my life experiences. I'm selling my ideas. I've always been someone who has a lot of ideas, but now I actually get to sell that.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful thing. So many people, some people, they've taught themselves so beautiful things, how to do hair. There are actors who know how to do hair. There are actors who do so many things. But sometimes when someone is famous, they just think, I just need to be looked at as this beautiful person and not doing anything and only acting. Yeah.
Everybody is looking for that secret formula to boost their business. Guess what? We have it. Welcome to the Kickstart Coaching Program. Join the Kickstart Coaching Program now and unlock your business potential. Ready to make a change? Let's do this together. Sign up today at kickstartcoaching.com. Your future is waiting. Don't keep it waiting any longer.
Go on the ground and utilize what you were given. Well, remember, God said, go and be fruitful and multiply. Have dominion. So how are you dominating in your space, utilizing what you currently have? And that's how I actually got to know you and actually got to connect you. Because apart from being an actress, you are also a coach. You also help people with their meditation. Yes. And you have this great story. But before we actually jump into that story, I want us to talk about what happened during your 4 years time at Scandal. There's something that happened during that period, not at Scandal, but during that period. Can you dive deep into some of the things that happened there, like the likes of some abuse, not by Scandal as the brand, but during that time? Can you talk to me about that?
Oh, I mean, 2019, it was a crazy year. It was a crazy year. Like, I'm telling you that I was broke. I was depressed. I was involved in a car accident. You are in the darkest parts and darkest hole of your life. I forgot what they call it in spiritual awakening. I think it's the dark something. And I was faced with one of those dark phases. And I think what really kicked the awakening out of me, and I always put it like that, it was finding myself in an extremely toxic relationship. And it was physically and emotionally abusive. Well, I think the reality of the matter was the fact that both me and this person were depressed. We were both battling mental illnesses. And I think both of us had undealt with trauma that we brought into the relationship. And we created an extremely toxic space and called it a love relationship. It's funny now when I think about it, but it's funny because it's so crazy how unaware a human being can be if they are not taking time to actually find out what they're doing and why they're doing the things that they're doing. Because I think at that time, I was just moving without any vision. I was moving without any awareness. All I wanted to do was just get an acting job, and I got it, and then I didn't know what to do with my life. And that's why everything just happened like that. And I had to just find myself in this wheel of a tsunami. And that's really what happened that time. That's really what happened.
And how did that affect your productivity, your creativity, and your ability to actually think of something else? How did that really affect? the fact that you were in a toxic relationship, how did that affect
So I wouldn't say that it affected my work, because like I said, that I've always used the art as an escape. So if really I'm troubled in my life, that's when I perform best. But
so we must trouble you a lot. We must trouble you a lot.
I fight. But it did affect the growth of my brand, the growth of who Nozuko is. It did affect that part of me, because when you are in a toxic relationship, you don't want to participate in public. But also because I was depressed, I also had really bad anxiety. It made me shut the world out. It made me and not want to participate, just in terms of expanding myself, looking for other avenues, looking for other things to do. I constantly felt like I'm not good enough to do things. And I'm sure even maybe in some parts of my work, I'm sure it did affect it, because there was a lot of shame that I was carrying. And I remember sometimes I would come to work and I would have, stress, that would make me feel somewhat ashamed and guilty. And I think later on, even not when I was still working for that production, even when I was working from a different production, because the abuse lasts long. It stays with you in your body. It stays with you in your aura, even when you've decided to leave the relationship. So sometimes it affected how I showed up in certain productions, not within the creative work, but within the administration of everything. Constantly being anxious, constantly being scared to participate in other things. Yeah. So I think that's how it affected me. Yeah.
Did you ever doubt God exists in all those crazy situations and all those crazy places that you find yourself in?
Yeah. So before I made the decision to allow God back into my life, I had honestly, genuinely forgotten about God.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe I can just say I just didn't have a connection with God. That time when I was in that toxic relationship, I don't even remember when last I read my Bible. I was not praying. I was not doing anything that involves God. I'd forgotten about God. And mind you, I actually grew up in a very religious home. And I mean, my step grandfather was a priest. My grandmother was umkokeli at church. So I used to go to church every Sunday. But between hustling and finding the dream and being in Joburg, I somehow stepped away from that and lost myself. Until then, I think the toxic relationship happened, and then I really had to look into myself and find the answers, and all the answers started leading me back to God.
Wow. And look at you now. Now you are now helping other creatives to navigate through challenges and navigate through life. And how did that come about?
So I've always had a passion for community building. I know that I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher throughout my whole life. I know that I have an energy that is able to heal people. This is something I've always had from a very young age. I've always been that kid that when I take the microphone and start talking, I'm definitely going to say something meaningful. So I think even if you look at some of the articles that I did when I came into the industry, I've always said that I want to have a school, because I really believe in education, and I believe in taking my community forward. If there's anything you must take away from me, is that I'm so in love with my community. The people at Ekasi, and I think they are really like a big motivational factor in what I do. So being that person, I knew that there's gonna come a time where that needs to mean something. That needs to shape up and be something meaningful. Obviously, when I lost myself, then I found God again, and then the direction of self-healing started leading me toward unleashing and expressing myself. It started leading me to finding my voice again. And then as I was now gathering resources of growing the character inside of me, Then I met life coaching, and I was like, you know what? This is a great certificate to have right now as I'm trying to understand that what is this gift that I have, because I can see that it has something to do with talking, it has something to do with motivation and teaching, but it's not really clear. So I need to train myself to grow it and understand it more. And that's how I met life coaching, and I got certificates, and I met NLP, which is so beautiful. And I was like, NLP is so similar to theater. Like some of the techniques that they use on NLP are so similar to theater. And it just made a beautiful smash up for me. I was like, of course, it makes sense that in order to be a great artist, you need to make sure that you take care of yourself, that you understand your full consciousness. Then I was like, I don't see a lot of people doing this. I really want to be one of those people that are going to pursue a coaching career so that I can be able to have an influence in my community and be able to express my ideas. NLP is not only about the business. I think even if I was not doing the business, after I did that NLP certificate, I unlocked so much from my creativity. I started having ideas on how can I express this idea, how can I express this, how can I express that, and that it gave me a lot of freedom in my art and in my creativity. So that's how coaching came about, and I love it. I've been pursuing it. That's how I know you, Mr. Tongo, because I'm someone that loves learning, and I'm always looking for people to teach me and grow with me.
Yeah. And oh my goodness, I so love that. I so love that because looking back as well into your story from the day you were born up to today, would you take anything out of that life? Would you change anything? Would you change anything if you were to go back in your mom's womb and be born again and grow the same life again? Would you take anything out?
That is such a beautiful question.
And still be Unozuko. And still be Unozuko.
No. I would still be Unozuko. I would still be Unozuko. And fun fact, I was telling my partner just yesterday that I found out. I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I'm asking her, so Mama, did you fall in love with my dad? How long did you guys date? And my mom is like, no, it was New Year's Eve, and your dad came here smiling and invited me, and then we met up on New Year's Eve, and I got pregnant, and after that we never dated. No, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change it. It is the perfect, beautiful story. I would never change
I
anything.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. And how did that make you feel?
Oh, it made me laugh. It made me laugh so hard. I couldn't believe it. I've always had this idea that even though my father was not present, he was an
Yeah.
absent father. But I always thought that him and my mom was so in love, and then the pregnancy obviously made things not go well. That's always what I've thought. But even the story now, I'm like, it's good. That's funny. It's actually funny.
You just made my day. You just made my day. You made my day. Wow. So you wouldn't change anything.
Anything, I wouldn't change it.
That's great. And well, I don't know, but I'm just gonna say this. I don't know if I'm authorized to say this, but I'm just gonna say this anyway. Well, it's Mr. D, okay? You have something that is coming. You are busy doing something. We've been working on this masterpiece for a long time. And it is still coming. And all of you, I'm going to drop a link for you to actually sign up for your being in the waiting list. Please note, it may take 4 months, but you'll be the first person to know this, okay, about what she's about to tell her. Well, I didn't tell her. I didn't even tell her when I put her on this one. She knows me that I always put her on this. Right now, we're gonna hang you alive, okay? We hang you alive. Yeah, well, but anyway, there's something amazing that you are working on called uniquely. What is it called? Uniquely me. What is it? in summary, please don't give out a lot. Okay, don't give out a lot. But what is it all about?
It's a beautiful offering. I've been pregnant for over a year, as Mr. Jongo is saying that I've been working on this for some time. But it's a lovely offering about where I've been and the challenges that I've had to face, and also just like also the beautiful things that I've been able to achieve in this life, and where I am going. So and also there's also a 21-day challenge for you to reclaim self-love and self-confidence. So basically, Uniquely Me is about making sure that I share the love and confidence that I have been able to learn throughout my journey, and share it with you, and also give you a chance to express your own love and confidence.
Lovely. And as much as it is uniquely me, well, it's uniquely me. Everybody who is holding that book that's coming is going to be uniquely you, because some of the stories she is sharing there, and some of the things you can literally see yourself in that story, and also discover yourself as you are reading that masterpiece that is coming. I said it is coming. Yes, I said it is coming. So check in the show notes. Check in the show notes. And make sure that you put your name, your last name, your phone number, and your email. You'll be the very first person to know and to be notified about this amazing, amazing masterpiece that is coming. Nozuko, I love you. I can be on this call with you for the next 4 or 5 hours and still talk more. But what are some of the things you would like to actually tell the listeners or somebody who is actually watching right now? What is it that I might be going through, either a phase that you actually went through, or somebody who is already an actor, an actress, or somebody who is stepping into the industry? What are some of the parting gifts that you can actually give them?
Sometimes you're gonna go through times where your heart feels blocked. It feels like you stop. It feels like you actually in the dark and you don't see a way out, or it feels like you don't even have a plan. Even sometimes you are in the middle of your vision, but it just feels like you don't even know what it is that you are doing, and you feel weak, and anxiety starts shooting up at the roof, and your body starts wanting to give up, and you start feeling tired and just wanting to be in bed and just sleep. Those moments are gonna come. And when those moments come, I right now I want to instill in your subconscious mind that when those moments come, remember that you are God's child. Remember that God listens even when you don't think they listen. There's something that's been trending on social media that says God never exits. And reason they say God never exits is because when those moments come where you feel like God is not around and there's no light or there's no way out, it's not that God is not around. It's your perspective that needs to shift. It is that time that when you need to start saying, God, I surrender to whatever your will is right now. I surrender to resting if I need to rest. I surrender to coming out of this dark hole with new ideas and new ways and new strategies. I surrender to the awareness of what lessons do I need to learn as I am in this space. But I surrender to your will because I am in this current space because there's definitely a reason. And I know that being here actually forms a much bigger purpose. There's a reason why I need to be here. I want you to remember that, and I want you to take a deep breath in and just be grateful that you are alive, and take it one step at a time. Because the truth is, everything you need, you'll get it. And where you need to be, you will be there. But it takes process and it takes time. So through it all, just breathe. That's all.
Wow. I was about to say, on, preach. I love this. I love this, Nozuko. You are such an amazing soul. I just love working with you. I just love having you in my life because every time I actually learn quite a lot, from what you're doing and keep on shining. Hey,
Thank
keep on
you.
shining. We celebrate you and we celebrate all of the successes that you have accomplished so far and what more to come. And I cannot wait to host you in LA. Okay, I cannot wait to host you in
I
LA.
can't wait in
Yes,
LA.
I cannot wait to host you in LA. Yeah, so thank you so much, everybody who have been watching, who have been with us today. This has been a great and amazing interview. I don't know you, but as for me, I took a lot of notes and I got a lot of life lessons that I actually get to understand it, and also get to know that some of the things that I actually see there is not all glamour, gold, whatever the way it may seem. At the back end, there is quite a lot that is actually happening. And thank you so much to my wonderful guest, Nozuko, for sharing with us her life story. She even shared with us some of the things that we didn't even know. Anyway, but thank you so much. I cannot wait to see you. Remember to subscribe, share, like, comment, do whatever, wherever you are watching this or listen to this from. Just subscribe and give us some review so that we can be able to come back again and be the first to be notified. Thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye. Love it. Love it.
Mr. M. Dongo.
Mr. Dongo. Wonderful time working with Mr. G.
M. Dongo, and he is a 10x person.
I love your energy.
He just go like boom, 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 boom. It's amazing.
I always love the way this man carries himself with dignity and respect.